Hello everybody and welcome back here at IndySportsCrew.com. I'm Thad Van Devener, and tonight we're going to take a quick look at Game 6 coming up. Pacers-Hawks series, first round of the NBA playoffs. The Pacers get a huge win in Game 5 at home at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. They take down the Hawks 106-83. Couple of big things I want to point out from Game 5 before we go to Game 6 is in the home games, they've played 3 games at home. The Pacers are averaging 108 points per game at home. The offense is up-tempo. They're making a lot of shots, which is understandable. Playing at home, you're more comfortable and you're able to make your shots, but it's a vast difference from what's happening when they go to Atlanta, where they're only averaging 80 points a game in the games down south. So that's a big thing. And in Game 5, in a 2-2 series, it comes down to this to me. In my personal opinion, in playoffs, in big games, you need your best players to step up and make the plays and have great games when they have to. This was a must-win game. If you go down 3-2 and you have to go back to Atlanta, you're going to lose the series. You had to have guys step up, and here's what happens. Your 4 best players on your team go: David West, 24 points, 5 rebounds. Paul George, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Roy Hibbert, 18 points, 9 rebounds. George Hill, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 10 assists. That's how you win Game 5. Your 4 best players play great games at home and get it done. Now, let's move on to Game 6. You go to Atlanta for Game 6, a place you've lost 13 consecutive times. You haven't won there since 2006. How do you correct that? Number 1, obviously score. They're having trouble scoring when they're in Atlanta. We just point out they're only averaging 80 points per game down there. The biggest factor right now in their games so far in this playoff series is the second quarter in Atlanta. In the first 2 games they played down there, they had terrible second quarters, dug themselves too deep a hole to ever come out of. In Game 3, they were completely out of it after the second quarter. In Game 4, they were down 17 points at halftime, cut it to within 5 points, had it down to where they could have made a run, a couple shots go their way, a couple big defensive stops, but you can't expect to come back from a 17-point deficit. It's all about the second quarter in Game 6 in Atlanta. If the Pacers have a solid second quarter, keep themselves in it, they can possibly close this game out in 6. The 2 biggest players to me in Atlanta in Game 6, David West, Roy Hibbert. West finally had a dominant game in Game 5 at home. See if he can keep that momentum going. And for Roy Hibbert, Atlanta is the place that he probably struggles the most. Regular season, playoffs, I don't know what it is about Phillips Arena, but he really has struggled there. I don't know if it's mental. I don't know if just something doesn't sit well with him there. Maybe it's a bad hotel room bed. I have no idea. But right now, you have to have David West, you have to have Roy Hibbert imposing their will in the paint, where the Pacers have the advantage with those two big guys. In Game 6, it's going to come down to those guys on the block, and if they can make that happen, the Pacers are going to go home with the victory, a series win, and moving on to the second round of the playoffs for the second straight year. Thanks for coming to IndySportsCrew.com, and we'll see you again next time.